Hi, I'm Larry Brinkman. I think they want all of us old-timer actor types to come up here now.
Yes, indeed. It's fun to see all these people on one stage. Yeah. Look at Billy Young. Oh my God.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Timothy?
Louis, could you check the woodwork and see if anything? Well, here we are.
Where's Tim?
Timmy.
Timmy.
Tim Affleck, who was our stage manager there for a while. You want to come up with Tim?
Can't use a lot of this one, sir.
There was an interesting film by Joyce Schober. You even got David's hands doing that thing. The only thing that wasn't in there was the word jolly. For David, everything was jolly. When you go over there and you cut that guy's throat, that's jolly. We always used to take bets as to whether he was going to back off the stage when he was giving us notes. Anyway, I wanted to be here tonight simply to pay tribute to a man who holds a very, very big place in my work, in my, for lack of a better word, art, and also a very big place in my personal life. Thank you, David, and you are going to be missed, but what has happened is part of our lives. May we go on. Please, Naomi.
I'll be brief, but I have the great honor of reading a poem. First, I just want to say the word that's been repeated a few times tonight has been freedom and liberation. I don't think I've ever come across it since quite in the same way that David helped us all to that place as actors. Just quickly, when Lisa Richards was playing Charlotte Corday in a wonderful production of Marat Sag, which had first been done, I guess, in Boston, and then we did it in the summer in Kingston. David always encouraged everyone to follow their impulse, and George Carlin, who played Marat, one day decided just to escape from his tub and run through the whole complex. And, I think Jimmy Woods, and I've forgotten the other actor, was told, what?
JT.
Yes, J.T. Walsh were told to pursue him no matter what. And he ran through the dining room where the Patriots were having the summer football game. And they dragged him back to the stage. So to me, that was just extraordinary. That was a great example of liberation. Anyway, I've been asked to, does somebody, I can read this at the end. I think someone else should speak. This should be at the end. Don't you think, Louis?
Sure. All right. Thank you. Louis said at the beginning that there's a lot of things that are going to go wrong tonight. And that's sort of a David Wheeler kind of thing. It wasn't just something that happened. It happened all the time. When I first started to work at the theater company in Boston, I always thought that I was in another play. He wouldn't vlog. He would never vlog. He would work on the same scene and go over it. He would go and talk about it, and then the actors would say, David, I think we should do this, and then we'd go do that, and then that would change. day, it was tense. I was tense, and I couldn't. He would change things constantly. He was always moving, and I said to myself, I've got to get myself together and say, what do I know about this? It's always interrupting me and giving me notes for my character. And I said, David, you would never do this, you know? So I kept coming back to a scene that I did in class. I was studying with Ulla Hagen, and I was doing an improvisation that was going to lead into a scene. And I did all my sensory work, and I did everything there, and I was about half of a minute into the scene, and she said to me, "What are you doing?" And I hated that. I hate people to interrupt me. And she did it all the time. And I said, I'm working on an improvisation. She said, I know that. She said, what were you doing just before I interrupted you? And I said, I'm working on reading the paper. And then she said, why don't you just read the paper? And I thought, well, that's not what the scene's about. But anyway, she said, just do me a favor, and just do whatever you were doing. Just read the paper and do it. So I did that whole thing, and she said, well, you accomplished what you wanted to accomplish. But I didn't understand her. I didn't understand what she was talking about. You can't just read the paper. So anyway, I kept working with David, and I suddenly, not suddenly, but slowly started to understand that going over the scene again and again, and that the scene was just about that. That my action was just to do that whole thing. I did all the other things are right there, but all I had to do was that. And so whenever